Okay, guys, I am so sorry about that. My screen recorder decided that I only needed to do a 5-minute video, so it cut me off. Okay, back to where we were. Um, if the W is not capitalized, it's not going to work. So just make sure you've got that easy thing taken care of. The solidity number has nothing to do with your printing. There's a lot of bad information on the internet saying that this affects how white your white prints. Photoshop is not a printing software. It is an editing software. So it's not going to affect that. This is it's just simply to show you where your white layer, where your spot layer is going. So I can make that, if I turn it down, it'll make it more see-through so I can see kind of the details on like the basketball, everything like that. But we don't need to mess with it. I just leave it at 100 so I can really see where my white is going to print. So we can push OK. We are done with the spot layers. Now, as you can see, this is still a ping file. MainTop absolutely does not like ping files, won't open it, or anything like that. So we need to get this changed. The first thing we need to do is change to CMYK because that's what our printers print in. So we go up to Image up here at the top, Mode, and go down and click on CMYK color. I also always change it to 16 bits per channel. Like I said, we'll talk about that more in a different video, but if you're ever unsure of what your file is in, you can go down here to the bottom left corner, and as you can see, this one says untagged CMYK. Untagged means that there's no ICC profile associated with the file. So basically, Photoshop is going to leave it up to your printer's ICC profile to print whatever it wants. Ideally, we want to design in Photoshop and match the ICC profile to the printer's profile. But like I said, that's for a different video. Right now, we need to get this to a TIFF file, which will support CMYK so we can print it. So, File, Save As, and sometimes TIFF already comes up. If it doesn't, just go down here and change it. I'm going to change the name of this to Test TIF, and I like to do that so I know that it's a TIFF file because once you start converting these, you're going to have TIFF files, ping files, print files, all kinds of things. So since I already have one called Test TIFF2 up there, I'm going to put it as Test TIFF 333 just so we know which one it is. And then just click on Save. Since our background is transparent, we obviously want to keep that. You need to make sure that Save Transparency is checked. If you do not, it will print a box around your whole file that will either be white or black, and we definitely don't want that because that's going to waste a lot of ink. I never mess with these ones over here. I never mess with image compression. They should not be that big of files. So we can just click OK. And we are actually done in Photoshop right now, so we can close that. The next thing I would do if I hadn't already is I would plug my printer into the USB port on my computer, and that is just so my computer has enough time to chill and make sure that the printer is running and is running well and is ready to face the day, because sometimes my computer and my printer don't get along, so I just like to make everybody happy. And then I already have my two programs open down here, but if I didn't, I would just open them both at the same time. The first one we're going to use is MainTop. So this is what it's going to look like when you first open it. We are going to go up to the top left, File, New. This part where it says General Publication, I never touch it, don't need to. The page, you're either going to be at A3, which is the 13-inch, or the A4, which is going to print about 8.5 inches across. So mine's an A3 printer, so we've got that set up. I usually, if I'm not doing a huge shirt, I will put it at 11.69 just so I can make sure I'm fitting on the page with no problems. This is going to be your height, your length, whatever you want to call it. You should be able to print 30 inches at one time. I'm not really sure if it will print more. I haven't experimented with this printer as far as that yet, but I do know with the Pro Color printers, it is very strict about the 30-inch thing. This on the side, my printer kicks out 2 inches already at the top, so I feel no need to put a top and bottom margin. I do have it set to the left and right at 0.5, just because sometimes I get a little carried away with my designs and they can go off the page. Single master page always, don't need to mess with that. And click OK. As you can see, it will open us up to my 11 inches there. It's got my little margin set, so I know I need to keep my picture in between here and here. Otherwise, it will throw an error on your printer and tell you that you're printing bigger than what the page allows. So now we go over here to import our picture. And I always have my preview button on just so I can make sure I'm getting the right file, and also to make sure that my white spot colors are in there. So I scroll down, I keep everything on the desktop. We want test TIF 333. So I'm going to click on that. You can see the red, so that means the white backing is going to print there. That's what we want. You can also see the color CMYK plus spot color. Perfect. Resolution 300 by 300. That's fine for now. We'll deal with that a different day. Don't worry about it. So we're going to click open. We do not want to touch this setting because this is asking us if we want to change our paper size. In the Chinese videos, they will have you change your paper size. Why? I do not know. The paper size in reality does not change, so why would we change it? So adjust stays at off and click OK. Okay, so there is the file in the size that I designed it, which if we want to, we can click and drag, and you can measure it up here. If I put it toward my 0, we can see it's about 8 inches right now. But let's say I'm going to put it on a kid's shirt, so I need it about, let's say, 5 inches across. So we right click on the picture, click on frame attribution. Up here is where I'm going to type in the width. So I said I wanted it 5 inches, so we're going to type in 5. And then we don't even need to mess with this because it's going to do this for us by itself. So we're going to go down here to constrain proportion, which is going to keep it in proportion so nothing gets skewed and nothing's going to look crazy. So I click constrain proportion once, and then you can see up here the number changed. So it's going to be perfect. And we click OK. And there it resized it for me. And now I can drag it wherever I want onto my film. And if you have another picture that you want to add over here or below or wherever, you would just follow the exact same steps that we have through the whole video and just go up here and add another file. But for now, we're just going to do this one. So we go up to File and Print. This would be the part where if you want to adjust how much your colors are printing or adjust your ICC profile, you would go into Properties and click Adjust here. There's your ICC profile right here. We're not going to do anything with that today, but here's where you would adjust your percentages of inks. I'm not going to adjust mine, so I'm just going to cancel out of this. And here is where you adjust your white ink settings. So these are only going to be for your spot colors. So channel 1, channel 2. Mine only uses channel 1, like I said. So I leave that pretty high at 80%. If yours is doing 2, make sure these are set to spot color and cover on both. And you can do a lower percentage on each one because it's going to do 2. So I'm going to cancel out of that because I'm not changing it. This one, I'm just going to push OK. And then since we're done changing all of our colors and things, we're just going to click print to file. And now it's asking me what I want to save this as. So we will go with tester 333, and I'm going to put print so I know that this is a print file. So if I ever want to print this exact size again, I won't have to go through all these steps in Photoshop and all of this in MainTop and all of everything. I will just be able to put this right into Atools and it will print it. Okay, so we're going to save. And it's showing you here that it's going to print. Wait until this gets to 100% to make sure it gets completely done. There's no errors. Okay, nothing. So we're going to minimize this back down. And now we are going to open up Atools. I just had it minimized, so when you first start Atools, you are going to need to hit this button which says connect, and it will automatically detect your printer and everything, so that shouldn't be a problem. You'll know it's connected because all of these will light up, and then this will become so that you can edit it. Let's see here. I usually don't mess with too many of these. I do leave my speed on low unless I'm just testing a file for the first time. Then you can turn it to high speed, and print direction left to right is going to be unidirection, so that's going to give you a clearer print. If you turn it to bitty, it's going to be faster. Soften, I keep it on high just for a clearer print. You don't have to. If you want it off, turn it to close. Let's see, I don't really mess with a lot of these other ones. The color strips are going to be basically to keep your print head cleaning itself as you're printing. So mine's on close because I'm not using them currently. You can put them on the left side, the right side, or both sides, which is nice. And then your strip margin is going to be how far away you want it from the edge, and the strip width. And don't forget, these are always in millimeters. We cannot change it to inches in Atools, but you can change your settings in MainTop, which is good, to inches. Okay, so now we are ready to grab our file and print it. So we're going to go to File. Like I said, I keep everything on my desktop. So there it is, Tester 333 Print. We're going to double click on it, and it's asking me if I want to add it, so click OK. And then we are going to go to Print, and we click once on the name of the file down at the bottom, and it should put a check by it, and you should see a preview of your file up here. Do not worry what it looks like. It's not going to print like that, and it is going to print your white behind it, so don't worry, don't stress about what it looks like. When you get it to where you want it, if you want to adjust anything in this at this point, you have to go back into MainTop and adjust it, and then resend it so it prints it to the file again, and then it will fix it. So make sure right here it's not huge or anything. It should look kind of like what it looked like in your MainTop screen, only kind of blurred out a little lighter colors. So after you have all this done, all you have to do is click on Start, and it will start printing for you. And that is how simple that is. Absolutely nothing else. Thank you guys for watching.